Greetings, brothers and sisters. I hope all is well. So, as we know, in life, people seem to or tend to take their lives for granted, whether it's throughout their whole lives or it's just a temporary moment. And as we know, all it takes is one split decision, and that split decision can either make you or break you. And some people also tend to forget that what they do in their lives or the type of company that they keep can either, you know, prolong their lives or diminish it. So that's what we're going to be talking about today in this video. How to prolong your life. Of course, the Most High is in control of how long everyone and everything lives, as He is the creator and ruler of all things that includes life and death. You know what I'm saying? But it's in the scriptures. I guess I'm just telling you how to not diminish your life, not how to prolong it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, let's head to the first scripture of the video, which is going to be Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 40. Thou shalt keep therefore his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee this day, that it may go well with thee and with thy children after thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days upon the earth, which the Lord thy God giveth thee forever. So keeping the law, statutes, and commandments prolong your life. That's why the Most High gave us those, or a part of the reason why. A lot of people may not like what I'm about to say, but people need to be told how to live. That's why the Most High gave us these law, statutes, and commandments. It's not good for man to be running around without there being rules and regulations, cans and can'ts, do's and don'ts, because mankind is going to use it for evil for the most part. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments keeps you secure. You know what I'm saying? Because it lets you know that no matter what goes on, whatever takes place is the Most High's will, because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Something good takes place, it's the Most High's will. Something bad takes place, it's the Most High's will. But you are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. That's the security. They also give you fulfillment and purpose in life. So they bring you security, and none of us are perfect, but you're supposed to be keeping those law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, because it's what the Most High commanded us to do. Everyone is going to have their own little free will and things of that nature. The truth ain't for everybody. The law, statutes, and commandments aren't for everyone. Most people are going to be destroyed. That's just what it is, because they think that they can live whatever way that they want to. And I get it, the human thoughts and things of that nature. How do you know that's God? How do you know blah, blah, blah? We've all asked that question to ourselves before. I get it. As I said, none of us are perfect. Well, I know how He's our God, my people. You know what I'm saying? And He's the God of all the creation. We fit the book. Everything in the book, we fit it. You know what I'm saying? But the other nationalities, they can cling to us, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and gain some sort of salvation. That's another video, though. But the promises are for us. The blessings are for us, in which salvation is a major, major blessing as well. It's eternal. It's an eternal blessing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's another video. I get to that later on. So we know people are born every day. People die every day. But when you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, that scripture is telling you that you protract and extend your life along with your blessings. Because basically what the law, statutes, and commandments are is the key to life. It's basically a code that the Most High put here for us in order for our lives to be the most fruitful that they can possibly be. So let's go to the next precept, which is going to be Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, however you pronounce it, chapter 21, verses 1 through 3. Let's go. My son, hast thou sinned? Do so no more, but ask pardon for thy former sins. Ask for forgiveness, in other words. Flee from sin as from the face of a serpent, for if thou comest too near it, it will bite thee. The teeth thereof are as the teeth of a lion, slaying the souls of men. All iniquity is as a two-edged sword, the wounds whereof cannot be healed. So we speaking about prolonging your life. You want to try to stay away from sin as much as possible, because that's going to diminish your life. It's basically what that scripture is saying. Sin is also the reason why men lose their souls. You know what I'm saying? And lose their lives. That's why the Most High gave us rules, so that we can keep our feet. You know what I'm saying? Stay on the right track, in other words. And like I said, you weren't put here to excuse me, you weren't put here to have a perfect life whatsoever. There are going to be good and bad things that take place. We all know that. Nobody's life is going to be perfect. And you ain't got no power to make it perfect. That's all up to the Most High. So that doesn't mean that you won't go through anything in life, because we all will. You feel me? I mean, look at Yahweh Shai's life. You think he didn't go through anything? And he was perfect. If you think that Yahweh Shai, aka who y'all call Jesus, if you think that he had to go through something, you don't have to go through anything, then your name must be Boo Boo and you must be a fool. So you better strap up your boots, especially if you come in this truth, because I think it's in Ecclesiasticus, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot the exact scripture, but they say when you come into the truth, prepare thy soul for temptation. It doesn't say that for anything. I mean, you might as well be in the truth, because your ass gonna go through something anyway. You gonna go through something anyway. Might as well, Craig. Remember when I spoke on security, that the law, statutes, and commandments bring security? Well, it's a trickle-down effect, because security brings happiness. When you think of a happy person, wouldn't you describe them as somebody that's secure within themselves as well? Because the most insecure people on earth are the most miserable, almost all of the time. So security brings happiness as well. So keeping the law, statutes, and commandments brings security and happiness. The Most High gave you even food laws that's going to prolong your life. In the Leviticus food laws, in the book of Leviticus, I mean. You know what I'm saying? The law, statutes, and commandments cover every facet of life. Those are the instructions that you need to carry on fruitfully. That's how you're supposed to eat. That's the Most High telling everybody. That's how you're supposed to eat, to have the longest life, to prolong your life. You know what I'm saying? No fat, no blood, no pork, no sea bugs. You know what I'm saying? Clean versus unclean. Medicine in the herbs, veggies, and fruit that we eat. It's medicine. Those laws, those food laws, are also law, statutes, and commandments. It's in the word laws. You feel me? It covers every base, the law, statutes, and commandments, on how you can live a fruitful, the longest fruitful life that you can possibly live. But the last thing in life that can prolong your life, or that, has a nice percentage of how long your life will be, is the person that you lay next to every night. So let's go to the book of Sirach again, chapter 26, verses 1 through 3. And listen, this is talking about virtuous women, but women can apply this to men of God as well. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it. Verse 1. Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. Now, if that ain't prolonging your days, boy, I don't know what is. She gonna make your life easier, in other words. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. You ain't gonna die earlier. You know what I'm saying? From eating the wrong food, she gonna cook you the right thing. She gonna keep the law, statutes, and commandments with you. She gonna make sure you're eating right. She gonna make sure she's eating right. She's exercising. She's taking care of the house, man. You know what I'm saying? She has the right mindset. She puts you first in everything. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. What's fearing the Most High? Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. That's why Yahweh Shai, he spoke two laws. You know what I'm saying? Two main laws that none of them come above, because all laws are within those two laws. Love your God with all your heart, your might, your strength. You know what I'm saying? Your mind. That's the first one. And love thy neighbor. All of the law, statutes, and commandments fall into that. Those two. It's 613 law, statutes, and commandments, but all of them fall in those two right there. Because Yahweh Shai, was basically saying, if you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, you can't love the Most High. And that's the number one. That one comes above them all. Love thy neighbor comes above as thy love thyself, as you love yourself. That comes second to that one. But all of them are intertwined into those two main commandments. Because if you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, you don't love the Most High. And if you don't love the Most High, how the hell you going to love yourself? Vice versa. If you ain't eating right in accordance with the Leviticus food laws, you don't love the Most High. You're not following his rules. But anyway, going back to the life partner thing, you better watch who you lay with, who you make your partner. You know what I'm saying? Because they can either add to your life, literally, or diminish your years, literally. Ain't nobody got time to be all stressed out, man. Why you think so many men in this particular country die so damn early? 50, 60 years old. That's too young to be dying. It's either his diet, in which you're supposed to be eating in accordance with the Levitical laws. So it's his diet. That's why he died. Men are dropping like flies, 50, 60 years old. It's his lifestyle. You're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You want to do whatever the world wants to do. When you're not supposed to be of this world. You know what I'm saying? And number three, his partner. That's probably why he passing away too damn early. Because she's too busy stressing him the hell out. Vice versa. Same thing for women. You got men out here that drain the hell out of a woman and her energy, her femininity, uses her, takes advantage of her. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. So you better watch who you lay next to. Make sure your diet, your lifestyle, and your partner, they all line up. You know what I'm saying? And move in perfect accordance with the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God of Israel, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, named Yahweh, Bahashem HaMashiach Yahushua. The world too damn evil to be laying next to somebody that's just continuously pumping stress into your life. Life too short for that. All that person is going to do is make it shorter. Literally. So move properly and move responsibly. Because some people feel like they're just put here to have fun. Life is about just YOLO. That's a demonic spirit. That YOLO spirit. You know what I'm saying? Some people think they're just put here to just, have thrills throughout their lives. And, fun, like I said. But we all know the wrong fun or too much fun could cause perils and, dangers to be propelled toward you. You know what I'm saying? The more fun you have, the closer you get to danger. That's why I say move responsibly. Doesn't mean you can't enjoy your life, of course. Enjoy your life. But know how to enjoy it. Enjoy it rightfully and righteously to the best of your ability while keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, which means that you're keeping the Most High first and that you're loving your neighbor as you love yourself so that you can further prolong your life or not diminish your life, you know what I'm saying, but prolong it in the most fruitful way possible. I'm hoping that you continue to strengthen your faith in the Most High, your love for the Most High, and your fear of the Most High. Shalom, blessings.